All the latest news from the UK's hottest ethical lifestyle magazine.
Hello and welcome to newconsumer.tv, your monthly dose of green goodness. I'm Adam Vaughan and I'm here today not to tell you about eco kitchenware, but to show you around some of the best green festivals in the country, tell you how timeshare is going eco, and explain what on earth sex has to do with climate change. First up, we're going to deepest, darkest Cornwall to find a country estate that says it's greening up its act. I know it looks like I drew the short straw, I'm standing in the rain, but actually I was the lucky one in the office this week because I'm down at Warren in Cornwall, which is an old country estate, billing itself as an eco-holiday destination full of timeshares and self-catering cottages. Big question is, does it actually measure up when it comes to stuff like food, energy and interior design? Well, I'm going to find out for you.
One of the principles we looked at with the architect is embedded energy in building materials. So the drive from the architect is to use natural building materials which have no embedded energy. So on the outside of this building, you see green oak.
What about the windows you've got here?
Windows are from Scandinavia. What we wanted is a beautiful domestic window, but built of really high quality with real wooden glazing bars, twin glazed with argon packed in the middle for insulation value, trickle vented to allow air circulation, and with proper seals. These windows will require only maintenance after their 10th year. The whole of the external package, natural materials, no maintenance at all.
In terms of running the house, all this wood, does that mean insulation-wise?
Yeah, no, it's great, but you have to treat it properly. We have a twin frame building technique which allows us the super insulation where we use recycled newspaper, which we pump into the compartments. Also beyond that you have a layer of breathable membrane and then an area of air behind the wooden panelling with air venting upside down. So you've got nearly 4 layers of insulation in this building.
You've shown me the outside. You were telling me about the twin frame construction. We'll presumably get a bit of a look at the skeleton of it here.
So here we are. We have the outside of the wooden frame, the inside. We pack it with recycled cellulose insulation all the way from here up to the ceiling. This increases the thermal mass of the building. It holds onto its heat for longer.
I know the sort of stuff you mean. I've put some in my old loft. It's quite nice to work with as well.
It's quite good fun.
Yeah.
You pump it under air pressure. But obviously once you get into your own energy production, you're really interested in conserving it, making it go further. So everything we can do to improve the thermal mass of the building, we do.
300 mil, that's actually beyond what the sort of government and energy saving trust might recommend, isn't it?
Way beyond normal regs, way beyond. Super insulation. And the principle being that for 10 months out of 12, you don't have to heat the building at all. Just being in the building will keep you warm enough.
Well, Ferris, we're in what appears to be the plumbing equivalent of a sort of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. This is your biomass boiler, you were telling me.
Sure, yeah. This is the heart of the operation for green heating for the estate.
It's as simple as wood chip goes in one end.
Wood chip heats up hot water, which is pumped around a heat main.
And you're telling me it's relatively local as well, the wood chip you're getting, it's from Truro down the road.
Yeah, at the moment we're dealing with waste wood, which is waste wood from a sawmill, but we're also set up to use our own wood. We can use either system, but at the moment waste wood is a cheaper alternative. So the wood chip arrives and it ends up in the chamber here, and in there you can see the chip burning, and that's heating hot water, which is then pumped around the different heat mains on the estate.
Great. Well, I want to play with some dials, but I probably shouldn't. Where do you mostly get your food from?
Most of the food that we source here at Warren is basically obviously from Cornwall. So Ferris likes us to try and have a radius of a 10-mile radius of where we live to try and source the majority of our food. For us, you know, it is essential that we can support local people. We cut down food miles. We encourage people to develop their businesses to grow.
Is it difficult sometimes of the year sourcing locally? Do you know what I mean? There are certain months like February, March.
Sure, yeah, there are. There can be difficult times of year, which does restrict us somewhat on our menus a little bit. But people understand that. People have come into the ethos of what we can do is what we can do. So, you know, there are still lots of things available in those times, but not the variety. So there's plenty we can do with that.
So you change menu every week, I guess?
We do. We change it. We change it every day.
So you've seen these places are well insulated. I can tell you they are because I slept here last night and it was nice and toasty. But what about the pretty stuff, the fluffy things of interior design in the house? Well, It starts quite well. In here we've got Cornish linen, so local product, not organic, but what I do like about Trello Warren is they are really committed to helping local businesses. In here we've got energy saving bulbs, so you know, that's good, uses a fifth of the electricity of most normal bulbs. Wood burning stove over there, again uses waste wood, so all good stuff. It's summer, so we don't need that now. In here, not so good, bit of a faux pas from an eco point of view. We've got halogen spot bulbs, and they're each knocking out 50 watts each, so that's really not good, but it does get better. We've got A-rated appliances, so they're saying all new houses are going to have A+ or A++ rated. Some of the older properties don't have that, but all the future ones will. And then it's the little details really. They've got things like fair trade tea, coffee and sugar, Ecover for washing up and cleaning. Upstairs they've got a dual flush loo. So attention to detail here is actually pretty good, and they are fairly green in the small things. I would have given them an A, but halogen spot bulbs, that's a bit of a crime. So I'm gonna have to give them a very good B, but they're doing a good job here. So a brilliant B for now. Even if you can't guarantee the British weather, you can guarantee with a biomass boiler that the swimming pool is going to be warm. You may have seen David Attenborough at this year's Hay Book Festival talking about the links between climate change and the natural world. But what exactly do books themselves have to do with the environment? What are their impacts? Well, Eleni went along to this year's Hay Festival and she talked to the public, publishers and authors to find out how the book world is greening up.
Hello! New Consumer TV has followed the crowds of authors, publishers and book lovers of this country to Hay on Wye here in Wales, where the literary festival is about to begin. Now, I'm here for a slightly different reason. I'm going to be looking at whether the publishing industry is greening up its act. Now, I thought a good place to start would be a local bookshop. Hay has over 30 bookshops, which is an extraordinary amount for a town this small. It also boasts the largest second-hand bookshop in the world, which is very green in our books. Publishers such as Penguin have actually launched green lines, and we're going to have a look and see whether they have them in stock here and whether customers can tell the difference. Do you think that customers want to know whether the books have been recycled, or do customers pay attention to that at all?
We don't get asked that at all. I mean, in the 2 years I've been here, we've never been asked that.
Do customers that come in actually ask you about whether the books are printed on recycled paper?
I've never been asked that, and we have thousands and thousands of customers through here in the summer particularly, and I've never been asked that.
So do you think that customers buying recycled books is sort of similar to buying, kitchen towels or something like that?
No, I think it's much more problematic than that, because if you're buying a book, people are much more interested in the content than what the book is printed on.
I think I can safely say I have never been in so many bookshops in a single day. So I got my hands on the Hay Festival guide. Now there are a lot of events on, and quite a few of them are actually on green issues. We caught up with an old friend of New Consumer TV, Catherine Hamnett. We asked her how she thought the publishing industry is doing.
Green books, as far as I'm concerned, are books that are available on the internet. Talking books are here having a huge boom because it's much cheaper to produce a talking book than a printed book, which is tragic because I think that we all need to know how to read. Green books, Rachel Carson's Silent Spring. If anybody hasn't read that, start there. But I'm here ready to promote concentrated solar power, which I see is the global energy solution for as long as the sun rises.
But what about the books themselves? Now, we do know that a lot of books are made from unsustainable forests and are actually treated with very damaging chemicals. Would you say that the publishing industry with regards to books has sort of moved on?
Well, Greenpeace started the book campaign in Canada at around 2000. Basically, books up until that point were being printed on paper that were coming from all kinds of old-growth forests. I mean, some of them were ancient forests in Canada or Finland or Russia, or even some of them were coming, for example, from the rainforests of Indonesia. And particularly as the publishing industry became more global, in terms of it started shifting its printing to China, and then the source of the paper became even more unknown and difficult to track. So we launched the campaign to try and get publishers to develop papers that were either recycled in content or that were at least certified by the Forest Stewardship Council, FSC, so that they could guarantee to come from legal and sustainable sources. And in 2005, we came to the Hay Festival. We signed up all the authors just about that came here. They all signed a giant book saying that they wanted their books in future printed on recycled or FSC paper. And that was really a catalyst for getting the publishers to sit up and listen. And some of their authors, like J.K. Rowling, for example, who published with Bloomsbury, are enormously powerful. I mean, you know, she made single-handedly Bloomsbury become a very successful company. So, of course, Bloomsbury were going to listen to what she had to say. Now we have all the big publishers, apart from Hachette, pretty much actively engaged in the campaign, and there are many examples now, books on sale in the UK that are printed on 100% recycled paper or printed on FSC certified paper that didn't exist a few years ago.
When you actually buy a book, do you look to see if it's made from recycled materials?
No, buy it for the contents most of the time.
Never even think about it, I'm afraid. No, I don't, no.
This is a very heavy book.
I know.
I'd think twice about buying it, I think.
Would it say in the front of it if it was recycled?
Yes, it would. It would say on the second page or third page.
No, I've never even noticed. No. I must look.
We must look. So let's see for ourselves how easy it is to figure out whether one of these books comes from recycled materials or is accredited by the Forest Stewardship Council. There is nothing plastered around the front of Gordon Brown's speeches book, but actually on the third page you can clearly see that it is accredited by the Forest Stewardship Council, the FSC. Now here on the other hand, confusingly it says that the publisher has made every effort to ensure that the paper does come from a well-managed and sustainable forest, but no FSC sign. We like this book. With so many second-hand bookshops around town, Hay certainly seems to be one of the greenest book markets in the country. But is the book publishing world as a whole greening up its act? Well, it does look like it, even though it's not a revolution, and customers, even environmentally conscious ones, don't really seem to be paying attention. But with the next Harry Potter book about to come out, recycled, FSC stamped and all, green books are here to stay.
Will you join us in the middle of the festival season? And the festivals are falling over themselves to proclaim their green credentials. We've got Glastonbury giving away recycled loo roll. Download says it will sort out its dirty act. But what does this all add up to? What's the future for festivals? To get a glimpse, Eleni went down to Sunrise Celebration to see what renewable power, composting loos and 80% organic food actually mean.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the greenest festival of them all? Yes, it is a competition and it is heating up this year, and New Consumer is here to check out the action at one of the top spot contenders. I'm at the Sunrise Festival in Yeovil, Somerset, very close to Glastonbury, where bands such as Alabama 3, The Egg and Dreadzone are performing. How are you, Shazad?
Well,
in typical British summer festival fashion, it has now started raining, so but I don't mind because it's a great excuse to taste the organic food available here for professional reasons only, but it's really tasty actually. The main music stage is still being set up behind me, but actually this festival is not just about the music. In fact, the music has taken a little bit of a back seat compared to the real star of the festival, which is its greenness. Well, let me see. There is compost toilets. In fact, there's a compost toilet design competition happening on site. 80% organic food and compostable packaging. Then there are the horse-drawn carts carrying people around site, renewable energy produced on site and offset when not, and the eco-rangers who float about advising people about environmental issues. Surprisingly, the compost loos don't smell at all. It actually smelt worse than the non-compost ones. There's a little patch of blue sky just there. And you're making pizzas in there?
Yes, yeah.
Organic pizzas?
Unfortunately, no.
So we're at the Moonbeam Cafe. We're joined by
Dan and Kaylee, Moonbeams both.
So tell us a bit about the food. Everything here is organic?
Yeah, as much as we can be.
And
Yeah, we
locally
try and be organic.
sourced.
Yeah, and we're sort of solar powered in the main as well. So we've got a solar panel on top of the van. And,
So the
in
kitchen and all
battery
the
pack.
electrics are run by sustainable energy.
Is the fact that it's a green, environmentally conscious festival play a role in your decision?
Yeah, it does, but I would come anyway because it's an absolutely brilliant festival. It was like, for the last 10, 12 years, the Big Green Gathering has been the best festival on the festival scene in this country by a long way. But this festival is at least as good as the Big Green.
First time I've been to this festival, yeah. I've actually come today because the local school have come to look at the environmental aspects, and we've come with them.
A lot of the mainstream festivals are pretty disgusting, like the litter, and all you can really get is burgers and chips.
So it's raining again outside, but thankfully with us we have Joseph from sustainableevent.com, and he'll tell us a bit about how Sunrise are measuring their environmental footprint.
Sunrise Celebration have signed up to 15 sustainable event principles based on their waste consumption and the CO2 for people transport, how they got here, how far they travelled, as well as things like their impact on the local economy to do with whether the traders and the food suppliers, food and drink suppliers are sourcing locally and organic food. They've issued quite an innovative thing called the Eco Bond, where they've got all the traders to pay a deposit to say that pledge that they will follow certain criteria like composting all their food waste and recycling all their other wastes and purchasing biodegradable packaging. So we're measuring as best we can, see how much waste is generated and what happens to it. Really we need all the other events to start measuring their impact as well using a similar framework.
This is a pedal power washing machine for the ones who haven't heard of it or seen it before.
So how long do you have to pedal to actually get a load clean?
Depending on what you got in there, between 10 minutes to half an hour.
That's quite reasonable.
So we just gently pedal away. Pedal away all that fat.
It's quite relaxed really, isn't it? Looks like it's working.
All energy used on site is from renewable sources. We've got very strong environmental policies which the traders have to adhere to. All Sunrise people have to use the Sunrise certified compostable disposables. All food waste can go into compost bins which we're putting all around the site. That's being taken to a compost plant and then it's going to be brought back as fertiliser for Beerley Farm. They have to use eco-cleaning products. They have to not sell chemical soaps and stuff on the stalls to try and encourage the public to not be polluting the land. We are aiming to be the greenest festival. We're also aiming to become a model sustainable event so that people can learn from how we do it and they can be inspired to have their own green festivals.
Well, short of going virtual, as some festival critics say all festivals should, there does seem to be some good work happening here. So we have Kirsty and Lindsay, two eco-rangers, actually much more colourful eco-rangers than the ones we've encountered. Show us your wings. How informed do you think the crowd that is drawn to the Sunrise Festival is with regards to these issues?
Well, everyone knows what the basis is because that's what they're getting involved in. Also, all the traders, they know that they have to have 80% of all their goods has to be organic as well. So
locally sourced.
Yeah, locally sourced. And I think it does attract a crowd of people who want to know more.
Well, the sun's finally out, and I suppose it's time to decide, is Sunrise the greenest festival of them all? Glastonbury this year is giving out 100% recycled loo roll to each festival goer, so there is tough competition. But I have to say that the festival organisers here at Sunrise are really trying their best to minimise their environmental impact. And I suppose the audit will tell us what the details are. So from us, Sunrise, thumbs up.
When it comes to greener living, we all have good intentions, but sometimes, somehow, we just never get around to doing them, which is where good old-fashioned nagging comes in, and appropriate enough, there's a new website called The Nag. To find out what it was all about, I headed off to London.
Alright. I'll drop Jamie a quick email.
I'm here in London today to meet two girls who insist that sex has everything to do with climate change. And to prove it, they're launching a website called The Nag. They've got a launch party tonight. Let's go and find out how they're getting on.
We've got this big event tonight with an incredible lineup of speakers, and we've just lost our entertainment from the second half, a variety act called Dirty Fan Mail, and they're absolutely hilarious, funny, exciting, and that's what our audience expects to see when they come to an event. So we're just frantically trying to find a replacement. Hi, Suzanne.
Do something.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I was planning. Okay, yeah, just head on over to the Brilliant.
Do you want to tell us what The Nag is exactly then? Because I got an email saying that something to do with climate change and sex. I didn't know bonking went with cutting your carbon, but...
Well, there are two different things. There's the launch event, which is Strange Love this evening, and it's an event about sex and climate change. Then there's the Nag. It's a cheeky little website that makes it super easy for people to do one thing a month to live more sustainably. So you sign up, each month you get an email nagging you to come visit the site, and there you're taken step by step through just one thing that will make a difference. So it could be switching to green energy, it could be buying your energy-saving light bulbs, it could be getting an ethical bank account, anything that you can use the internet to help you with. And the idea is that we're surrounded by messages about the problems of the world, about climate change, poverty. It's all a nightmare. When we come across what we can do, we're often given reams of things all at once, and it's often we don't get the information when we can actually act on it, and we've actually got the chance to do it. So we thought, okay, we want to cut through all of this confusion and give people something really simple tool, just one thing a month, and then you can forget about it the rest of the time.
And tonight you're going to tell the world about it.
Tonight we're going to tell the world about it. Which is exciting and terrifying, because what if nobody uses it, or what if people use it and hate it? And because the whole idea is that by doing little things, people create change. By living change in our lives. And some of the nags are about doing things in our own lives, and some of the nags are about asking our favourite companies or asking our government to do stuff to make it easier for us to live more sustainably. The idea is if enough people live change, if enough people ask for change, change will happen. So tonight's about sex and climate change. So we've got an interactive debate, we've got some great speakers, and then we wanted something really light and humorous in the second part of the night, because a lot of stuff about climate change is so heavy, it's so worthy, it's so guilty. We're like, boring, let's talk about sex and make it funny.
What we're doing this evening is we're launching The Nag. What's The Nag, I hear you ask? Brilliant. Well, The Nag is a new initiative by Anti-Apathy. It's basically for lazy people who are concerned about climate change. This is your chance to do your bit.
I think that part of what Anti-Apathy is doing this evening is to find new ways to communicate issues about climate change, but I think that they also think that sex is equally important and serious.
Yeah.
And so if you can bring the two together, maybe you've got a new angle, a new perspective that appeals to different people.
What is The Nag? Okay, The Nag is a facility set up by Anti-Apathy it's a website, it's an email reminder. Hopefully all of you will have joined the NAG tonight.
I think it's a terrific initiative. You know, there are a whole plethora of small actions that people can take that appeal to everyone, whatever your background or interests. I think on NAG you'll find many of them, some things that really suit you.
Sex and climate change, what's the link?
Well, I think there's many links to sex and climate change. Number one, our whole economic system is based on unfulfilled desire, and that's how we keep the money ticking, especially in terms of luxurious products. Let's face it, essentially, if you have fulfilled desire, your needs are very much reduced. And so therefore you're constantly being fed through the subject of sex, particularly that you are unfulfilled, and to have this product you will be fulfilled, which is the ultimate. Yeah, you won't be happy until you buy this product, which is the ultimate illusion.
It's all happening, everything's according to schedule. We're a little bit behind with our post, but it's happening, people are here, they're happy, and I'm excited to see what happens. I don't know which way it's going to go, but we'll see.
So it's an email every month, just basically reminding you of certain issues, certain things that you can do without, but these things are quite boring. This is why we don't do them. So what we're hoping to do is we're hoping to take you through these things step by step. So you'll get an email every month once you sign up. And the first month is actually to change to green energy.
What we're watching now is the culmination, as we've heard from Brian, of 2 years hard work. And I think we can say so far it looks like it's going to be a success. All that remains is for me to go and sign up to the NAG. You can find out more at thenag.net.